Good morning, GFAB! Thank you very much. All right, so let's hear a big, big round of applause for one of our very special guests, Miss Tomoko Ai. All right, let's also have a nice round of applause for our translator, Mr. Robert Scott. So let's get started. The first question that I would like to pose for Ms. Ai is to tell us a little bit about her early life growing up, what she remembers about her childhood.
Yes. Okay.
Please start. Please.
子供の時ですか。子供の時はおとなしくて人見知りであんまり人前に出られない子でした。
I have to tell you that my voice has disappeared since last night, but I'll do it again. She said she was a very quiet child. She didn't like to talk or do anything in front of many people, so she never thought she would become an actress.
Since you didn't think you'd become an actress, what did you think you would end up doing for a living?
She wasn't really thinking about any kind of job that she was going to do, but she was in Tokyo in a place called Roppongi, and she was just walking around, and a scout scouted around, and she became a famous person.
All right, so please talk about those early moments in your career when you were scouted. What were some of the things that you were originally hired to do, such as modeling? Oh, certainly. So when you were scouted for the entertainment business, what were some of your early jobs?
最初はモデルの仕事をして、銀行のポスターです。
When she first started in the entertainment business, she was a model, and the first thing she did was a poster for a bank. Holding the money, you know.
Thank you.
Hello, friend. It's Mechagodzilla. Hey.
She said she has it by the side of her bed every night. So.
All right. Okay, so certainly you started off doing modeling. How did the transition come to start acting?
モデルをやってたんですけど、背が低いので、結局他のモデルさんと並んだ仕事はできなくて、一人だけの仕事しかできないということで、事務所の社長が役者をやらないかということで、それですぐウルトラマンレオという。
She was doing some modeling before, and because there are other models who are very tall, she was very short. The president of her agency said, "You should try something else. How about acting?" She said, "Well, okay, I think I'll get into it." And that's when Ultraman Leo came around, and she got the job for that. That's what started her off as an actress.
And speaking of Ultraman Leo, how exactly were you cast in the series?
最初はウルトラマンレオという隊員の役だったんですけど、もうそのまま連れてかれて、で OK が出て、でカメラテストだけして、そのままもうレギュラーに入りました。
At the very beginning, they just took her in for a test run, and she did a tryout. She passed the tryout, and just everything led to that. She became a regular on the program. And so that's how the whole thing started.
And so what are some of your memories from working on Ultraman Leo, such as working with your co-stars or going to any location shooting, anything like that?
もう本当にアマチュアだったので、本当に素人だし、若いし、あれがウルトラマンレオをやったのが私のだから学生時代のような思い出で、隊員みんなでみんなで約束して食事行ったり飲みに行ったり、遊んでばかりでした。
Because she was very young and was still very like an amateur at doing this kind of job, everything was an adventure to her, and so basically it was kind of like going back to school. She would talk to the people who she was doing the job with. They would talk about where they'd go to eat afterwards and have a good time during the locations. After eating, and going out to drinking together, so it's kind of a lot of fun for her. I'm sorry, can you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, sorry. Thank you very much for your efforts. Thank you. All right, so do you have any specific memories of Super Ai productions during the heyday of the Ultraman series?
そうですね、ともかく現場ではまず怒られてばっかりいました。でも怒られるのは私だけじゃなくみんなで怒られるんで、みんなで怒られれば怖くないみたいな、そんな感じで、はい。
The biggest memory that she has is that there were Tsura and all the people that had to do with that always got mad at her. They were always mad, but it wasn't just her, they were mad at everybody. That's the biggest memory she has of it.
Well, shortly thereafter, you made a transition to hopefully a bit friendlier studio at Toho. So how was Toho different from Super Ai, in your opinion?
その前に東宝のメカゴジラはオーディションだったんです。で、なかなか真船桂役が決まらなかったようで、私は多分最後だと思うんですが、ウルトラマンの隊員服を着たまんま、東宝撮影所と円谷で撮っているところが割と近いんで、隊員服のまんま、そのまま連れてかれてオーディション受けました。
First, what she'd like to say is she was in the middle of some shooting for the Leos, Ultimate Leos, and she had the clothes on that she was wearing during it. And apparently the part in the Toho movie, they had a lot of people come in and try out, but they couldn't decide what they wanted. And she was pretty much the last person that would audition for it. And they said, we need you to come to this. So she wore the clothes from Leo, went straight to Toho, which was really close to Tsuburaya. And she auditioned for it, and she got it. So it made a big part because she was already in the clothes and was ready for it. So.
で、はぁはぁ言いながら、とりあえず本田監督の前へ行ってご挨拶して、まあよくあれで決まったもんだと思って。
She was really surprised and a little bit nervous at the same time. Her heart was beating like this, back and forth, but she had the right clothes on. And she said, "Wow, I can't believe this happened, but it must have been the clothes, and it must have been." But she was able to say her greetings in front of Mr. Honda, and it turned out for the best.
で、先ほどの円谷さんと東宝の違いといいますか、やはり東宝というのはやっぱり伝統のある撮影会社ですごく格式が高く、やっぱりまるで違いました。で、私は役者になったんだ、女優になったんだって、そこで初めて自分で。
The question was, what is the difference between Toho and Tsuburaya? Toho is legendary in Japan. Working with Tsuburaya was good, but when she finally got this job working for Toho, she realized that she was now an official actress.
And of course, the role she's speaking about is her role that brought us all here, Terror of Mechagodzilla, Mechagodzilla no Gyakushu. All right, so let's transition to Mechagodzilla no Gyakushu. And you've talked about how you got cast. And you did mention Mr. Honda, the director, so please share some more of your memories of working with Mr. Honda.
ここへ来る4日前に、本田監督のご自宅に伺って、奥様にご挨拶してもらいました。で、また懐かしく本田先生のお写真とかいろいろ見させていただいて、また改めて感じましたけど、黒澤監督ご存知ですよね。で、鬼の黒澤、仏の本田と言われるぐらいにとっても優しくて怒らない監督です。
She has very good memories with Mr. Honda, showing pictures of herself and the family pictures from Mr. Honda and his wife, etc., etc. And if you were to compare Mr. Kurosawa to Mr. Honda, she said basically Oni, which means the devil, Kurosawa, and Hotoki, which means Buddha or God. So there's a total difference. He was just very, very kind, and she enjoyed working with him very much.
そういうふうにスタッフに教わりました。
And the staff were the same way as well, so it was all really good experience.
はい、それでその奥様からかなりしつこい演技指導があって、あの人は自分で動いて演技指導するでしょって言われたんですけど、私の場合はほとんど演技指導もなく、ただ難しい役だったので、人間ではない半分ロボットで半分人間でみたいな、そういう役だったので、ここは人間だよ、ここはロボットだよ、そのメリハリだけで、あとはあんまりなんかこう演技指導をしていただいた覚えがないんですね。
With the wife and with other actors and actresses, he was strict as far as saying, this is what you need to do. There's a lot of guidance, etc. out there. But in her case, because she was half human, half android, she was basically, it was very simple. He says, okay, this is where you'll be a human, this is where you'll be android, and so it's very simple, but she doesn't remember much other guidance other than that, and he pretty much let her do what she wanted to do other than those two things.
今までのゴジラ映画とは全く作風が違う。ある意味ゴジラ映画でのロミオとジュリエットみたいなものだからって。
Up to that point, it was different than the other Godzilla movies. It's kind of like a Romeo and Juliet type of Godzilla movie, so it's different from the movies up to that point.
Well, that is a very good question to talk about the cyborg aspect of your part. How did you approach that, and did you do any sort of preparation? What was your approach?
特別な役作りといいますか、大体ご覧の通り私いつもニコニコニコスマイルスマイルスマイルところが、まず一切笑うところがない、笑ってはいけない、笑ってはいけないっていうのが一番きついです。
She really loves to smile. She's always very bubbly, and so the hardest thing for her was not being able to smile during the cyborg part of her. And so that was the hardest thing of the whole thing. But that's basically what she did, try not to smile. But it was the hardest thing, but somehow she was able to do it.
And do it very well, I might add.
And do it very well, by the way.
Well, we can't talk about Katsura Mafumuni without speaking about the father. So her father, of course, was played by Mr. Akihiko Hirata, very legendary, famous actor in Japan. So please talk about working with Mr. Hirata on the film.
平田さんは、他の役者さんとはあまり現場でお話しした記憶がなくて、平田明彦さんだけが、いろいろ私に構ってくださって、で1回だけ会議にお食事連れてってくださったりとか、女優とはこういうもんだからこれからね頑張りなさいっていう話をしてくださいました。あとメイクが平田さんのメイクがすごかったので、こうひげとかもつけてメイクがで、君も笑えないけど僕も笑えないんだよって
She remembers a lot of working mostly with Mr. Hirata. Working with other actresses and actresses, there was not much communication between them, but she did often talk to him, and he did take her out to eat one time. And what they basically talked about is, well, you don't get a smile either, but he had a lot of makeup on, he had beards and all kinds of stuff. He says, I don't get a smile either, so we're in the same boat. But he remembers him taking her out one time to eat, and it was a very good memory of that time together.
Very good, wonderful. All right, so another one of her co-stars who is joining us this weekend is Mr. Sasaki, Katsuhiko Sasaki. So please talk about being the Juliet to his Romeo in Mechagodzilla no Gyakushu.
佐々木さんは、ここへ来る前、東京の成田の空港で40年ぶりにお会いしまして、で、あれなんですけど、いないから言いますけど、当時は一言も口聞いてくださいませんでした。
She said that they made it to Narita airport to come here in Tokyo. It was a 40-year reunion, visiting for 40 years, and they were able to talk together in Narita, but he's not here now. So 40 years ago, he wouldn't listen to anything I had to say.
なんで口聞いてくれなかったんですかってお伺いしたら、そういえば喋ってませんでしたねって喋った覚えありませんでしたねって彼もおっしゃってました。
So he says, she asked, he said, why wouldn't you talk to me? And I said, well, because there was really nothing to talk about at that time. But they made it not into the 40 years they did it. In my case, he was in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah as well, and I haven't seen him for 20 years, so it's kind of interesting to see.
But you did meet him in Hawaii in 1993, correct?
Oh yeah, that's right, an elevator, yeah, never mind.
Hasn't been that long, but anyway. All right, so there were many locations for Mechagodzilla no Gyakushu. So please talk about going on location to shoot some of the scenes away from the Toho set.
一番で覚えているのは、海で私がロングのカツラをつけてグリーンのドレスを着てこう海をずっと見てるシーンがあるんです。で、今のように CG ではないので、この目がグリーンに光るあれがものすごいレフト。もうずっと目開けてなきゃいけなくて、あれがものすごい辛かったのを覚えてます。
Well, one of the locations was near the ocean, and there's a scene where she has a long wig on, and her eyes turn green and going like this. And in the day where there was no CGI and no special effects, she had to keep her eyes open the whole time. That's probably one of the hardest things for her to do, not being able to blink through. Keep your eyes open, keep your eyes open, keep your eyes open. So that's one of the hardest things for that scene.
Wow, can't smile, can't blink, can't do anything.
Yes.
あとは横浜というところによくロケに行きます。
There are a lot of locations located in Yokohama, which is about 30 minutes away from Tokyo.
I see, very good. All right, so do you have any other memories?
ごめんなさい。
Do you have any other memories you would like to share from making Mechagodzilla no Gyakushu?
あとよくその時はあんまり分からなかったんですけど、なんだか分かんないけど衣装替えが多くて衣装がすごく多かったんですね。はいはい。で、衣装も衣装スタッフさんと一緒に渋谷の西部というところを2人で買いに行きまして、好きなのを選ばせていただいて。 やっぱりなんかすごいんだなと思って、好きなのを選びなさいって言われて好きな衣装をたくさん選ばせていただいて、まだ私も若くて全然そういうの初めてだったんで、映画ってすごい楽しいんだと思いました。
She said more than any scene that it was hard for her to do. The best thing about the whole thing, and she didn't realize it at the time, was that she got to select a lot of the clothing that she got to put on. and being a woman, like to buy things. She says, wow, there's nothing better in the world than a movie. So we go with the staff, and then you go to a place called Seiba, which is a department store in Japan, and it says, pick out anything you want. It's, whoa!
Very good. Well, a lot of the people here don't know much about your career following Mechagodzilla no Gyakushu, so obviously that's covering a lot of ground. Could you just give us a brief summary of what you did following the film, just to let everyone know?
それからは、東宝こんなこと言っていいんだかわからないんですが、東宝預かりという形だったんですが、なんか約束してた話と違うみたいで、うちの事務所が怒って私を東映の方へ連れてきまして、はい、で東映の方でまた映画を撮ったりとか、テレビのレギュラーとかやってました。で、私ずっと機械体操をやってたので、アクションで行きたいということで、割とそのアクション女優みたいな形でやってました。
There was the promise, the deal between her agency and Toho was that she would belong to Toho basically, and they give her lots of work. She ended up not getting lots of work, so she went to another place called Toei, which is another movie studio there in Japan. And because she was originally a gymnast, she was able to move around really, very flexible. She got a lot of these action type of parts in TV and movies as well. So she got rid of Toho. Her agency got really upset, so she left Toho and went to Toei. Did a lot of action in TV and movies after that.
Thank you very much. Okay, so at this point, let's open it up to the audience. So if you have any questions, raise your hand and Scott will call on you.
in my puberty voice. Yeah, okay, Neil.
I heard that. Why did you talk about the microphone or do you... Okay, thank you.
Ella.
Yeah, I read in an interview that Tomoko, you owned your own business for a while. So I was wondering what that business was and how it went for you.
She has since quit the job, but it's basically for beauty, massage stuff for faces to make people younger looking. But she's not doing it anymore. But she looks great herself. She did it for about 15 years, but she has since quit. But yes, she did it for about 15 years. Yeah. Okay, let's go over. Okay.
Thank you very much. Here in the United States, with movies like Star Wars and Star Trek, actors are very intimidating about entering into those kinds of movies because of fear of typecasting. Is that something that you went through when you were offered the role in Terror of Mechagodzilla, or whatever it's called in Japan?
No. There was no typecasting. She was able to do a lot of different things, and probably part of it is because she went from Tsuburaya to Toho to Toei, so that probably helped her a lot in that sense. Yeah. Good. This guy.
So we all loved you in Terror of Mechagodzilla. Was there ever any other kaiju films that you wanted to be in?
いえ、それは別に特にない。で、当時は若かったので、逆にメカゴジラの逆襲のアイドモコですって挨拶するのがちょっと恥ずかしかったような 覚えがあります。
They thought about it for a second, but there really wasn't another movie she wanted to be in. But she was very young at the time, and so she was actually saying, "I'm Terror of Mechagodzilla, Tomoko Ai," and she was a little bit shy about the whole thing at the time. But there was no other movie that she really wanted to be in. But she enjoyed being in, but she was shy because she was very young at the time. Okay, in the back. Got two guys in the back. You can go to the next day after, okay?
And tell me your memories of Nakano Teriyoshi.
中野監督、特撮の監督とは全然違うので、全然お会いしてないんです。ごめんなさい。
I have no memories of him. They were in the special effects, and she was in the acting part, and so she hasn't even been in before. So no memories of it at all. Very quick answer. Why don't you give him in the back there as well? Sorry guys, my voice.
It's fine.
I think I have a question.
That's good.
I'm sorry about that. Since in the Terror of Mechagodzilla movie, sorry, my voice is a little loud, sorry.
Well, I wish I had yours right now.
In the Terror of Mechagodzilla, I noticed that when Godzilla was battling Mechagodzilla and Titanosaurus at first, and since while Kazuro Mifune as a character when was helping Mechagodzilla and Titanosaurus, and I'm not sure how responding helping to try to destroy Godzilla at first, and
It'd be a little difficult for her to answer that.
Yeah.
I don't think she
Well,
knows.
I haven't heard the question yet either, so.
I don't think she would really know. That's more of a screenwriting question than an acting question, I think.
I'm sorry about that.
No worries. It's all right. I understand.
But you have a good voice.
Was I saying something wrong?
No. It's just,
It's something that an actress probably couldn't answer. It'd be a screenwriter that would have to answer something like that, I think.
Okay, maybe.
do you have a question about maybe something that she did while she was acting?
I'm really not sure.
Okay, well that's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Think about something else and we'll get back to you later.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. Thank you, buddy. Okay, right here in the corner. Andy, over here. By the wall.
I was wondering if you had any idea that 40 years later you'd be sitting in a room on the other side of the world with a bunch of people who could quote the entire movie.
私は、今まで生きていて、で、本当に幸せだなと思ってます。
She says she's glad she was still alive to have this adventure.
Thank you.
So when you were working on Mechagodzilla no Gyakushu, did you ever get a chance to meet producer Tomoyuki Tanaka? And if you did, can you tell us your memories of him?
ごめんなさい。ご挨拶ぐらいで、あんまりお話ししたことはありません。
She didn't meet him before, but it was basically greetings and that's about it. So there are really no memories of it. And in fact, it's probably the same for most of us. It was the same with me as well. I met him, said hello, and last time I saw him. So.
私みたいな下っ端がお話しできるような方ではなかったので、はい、
in Japan they have a ladder society, and so he's a big producer. She was a newbie, and you don't talk to producers, you don't talk to newbies. Okay, let's Mark. Let's go to Mark.
Thank you. Were you aware of the number of people in America who are Godzilla fans who watch the movies? How aware of that were you before coming to G-Fest?
はい、それは知ってました。知りませんでした。
First of all, she knew that there was some kind of popularity in America for the kaijus. But again, coming here today, she didn't realize it was this big. So, being alive for this event, she's very happy.
It's very good to see you. Do your family and friends poke playful fun at you for having been a robot girl, or is it something you all really enjoy and just fun?
ごめん、私の姪っ子におっぱい出してたねって言われました。
She said her niece came up and said, You put your boobs out there, didn't you? She did not know how to answer. But she did. Let's go. I'm sorry, I forget your name. Yeah, right there. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you for coming. Are you still working now? And if not, what hobbies do you have?
はい、今は、お芝居、舞台の方をやってます。
She's doing a lot of stage work now.
まあ、いろいろですけど、はい、はい。
Various things, but she's doing a lot of playing.
あとは、こう、なんか、朗読劇みたいな、お芝居とともにこう、読む伝える。
Also, probably voice work as well. She reads things for different things, so narrations, other things like that as well. So.
日本の文化伝承という形で。
She does a lot of things that has to do with the culture of Japan to continue it on with the children or with other people in Japan to understand more about their culture. So, yes.
Jules,
yeah.
go ahead. Oh, sorry. Next, we'll get you next.
What sort of projects did you do while working with Toei Company?
はいはい。わかるかな、爆発暴走族という映画とか、チャーリーズ・エンジェルみたいなプレイガール Q という番組ですとか、とにかくアクションです。
You probably won't know the names of them, but it was kind of like a Charlie's Angels type of thing where there's a lot of action and she showed a lot of boobs. No, I'm just... No, it's kind of like a Charlie's Angels action type of thing. She did a lot of that kind of stuff on TV and movies as well. But probably a lot of it has not come to the States.
Well, eat your heart out, Farrah Fawcett.
Alright, so one of my favorite actors in Mechagodzilla no Gyakushu is Mutsumi Goro. What was he like to work with?
それがね、大体皆さん、本当平田彦さん以外は本当にあんまり皆さん私を構ってくれなかったんですね。
Again, it's kind of like the ladder society, and Mr. Hirata, he was able to meet with her and they went out to dinner and stuff, but he's pretty much the only one that they had any relation with whatsoever. So sorry, but really don't know who Goro was. Sorry. Should we go? Let's go in the back, right there, on the left side. Keeping you busy, Andy. Sorry.
Before Terror of Mechagodzilla, had you watched any of the Godzilla movies before you
where you were cast?
はい、小学生の頃にモスラいました。
When she was in grade school, she saw Mothra for the first time. So yes, she has seen some of the kaiju movies. Okay. Wait for the mic. Yeah. Right here. Yeah.
Toho utilizes a lot of returning actors and actresses in her movies. If they were to offer you some type of role in a future Godzilla movie, what are your thoughts on returning to the big screen? Besides all of us, we would obviously really enjoy it.
はい。
I don't think that was translation. Yes. She really did it again. She had a good time. Right there. Andy, right next to you, Andy.
Thank you. Do you know if any of your Toei Studio films have been released in America with subtitles, hopefully?
多分来てないんじゃないでしょうか。
She really doesn't know, but she doesn't think so. But we'll look into it for you.
I can probably answer that. I don't think they have. As a matter of fact, they probably haven't even been released in DVD in Japan because I certainly haven't seen any in the stores either. So, but they're not available in the U.S.
I would like to see the Charlie's Angels. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay, right here up front.
First of all, I would like to say it's an honor seeing you at G-Fest. What is the most difficult experience you had when you were working on the show Ultraman Leo?
ウルトラマンレオの、大変だったのは夏の撮影の時に衣装がとっても暑かったです。
The hardest thing about Leo is that during the middle of the summer, the clothes that she wears very thick and heavy, and so she would sweat like a pig. She didn't actually say that, but I said that. Yeah, that was the hardest thing. In the middle of winter, wearing very heavy clothing. So, yeah. See, let's go over this side here. Okay.
Right.
It's working.
I have a question I think some of us have been wondering for a long time. What is the context of that publicity photo you took with Titanosaurus, where you had that whip?
Hi, hi. Hi. いや、私もあんまりよくわかんないですね。あれ、ねえ、あれ怪獣使いみたいな、なんなんでしょうね、あれね。
I have no idea. Yeah, she doesn't understand why there was a whip there either. Take that, you dinosaur. Right in the front.
Well, we all think her performance in Terror of Mechagodzilla is one of the most poignant in the series. I want to know what Tomoko Ai thought of her performance in the movie, and what did she think of the movie as a whole?
Hi. 作品的には本当に先ほども言いましたように今までのゴジラ映画とは違うストーリーで発想が今そのまんま持ってきてもそのまま通用するようなストーリーで素晴らしいなと思います。で、私個人に関しましてはずいぶん芝居がオーバーだったなって思います。
First of all, she thinks that the story with the Romeo and Juliet type of thing is something that has been ancient and you could actually use it today as well. So the production of it itself, I think, was good. Herself, she thinks she kind of overacted in some parts of it, but she thanks you for thinking she was so good, but she thinks you overacted a little bit, but as a whole, she thought the movie was very well done. And it would be, you could do it again right now if you wanted to, so, yeah. Anybody over on that side? Okay, in the back. Andy, sorry.
First, I'd like to thank you both for coming to G-Fest. My question is, first, is there any big celebration in Japan going on right now with Godzilla? Second part of that, did you both think that Godzilla would be this big for so long? And how do you feel being part of that?
イベントは今まで2回ぐらい日本でも出させていただきましたけど、こんなビッグイベントではないです。
There are a lot of little events going on in Japan right now, but nothing this big. Nothing this big.
とても光栄に思いますし、メカゴジラの逆襲という映画に感謝しています。
She is very thankful for the movie that she was in and very pleased that she is part of the whole history of Godzilla. Yes. Okay. Right there, yes. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, Titanosaurus only appeared in one movie. Do you think that he could appear in another?
Say it again, please.
Do you think Titanosaurus could appear in another movie?
Titanosaurus はどうでしょうね。そうですよね。いや、わからないです。出ればいいと思います。
She thinks
ティラノサウルスも頑張ってほしいです。
Yeah, she thinks that if he gets a job, he should take it. And yeah, but way in the back, right in the very back. Right there, yeah, in the back.
This is a bit off topic, but it said that she's doing theater at the moment. So I was wondering about what sort of theater she was doing and what attracted her to that medium of art.
はい、そうですね。私はとっても先ほど言いましたように、とっても女優になりたくてなったわけではなく、そういうのがこれで3回目なんですね。何かの形でこう引っ張られてまたこのお仕事を始めているというような話で、こんないけないんですけど、本当の話で、私はもうとりあえずやっぱりこれなんかのこう自分でこう使命を受けてるのかなっていうことで思ったんです。まず一生今割とお芝居好きで生の感覚がとても好きで、はい、皆さんと一緒にっていう感じが好きでお芝居をやってます。
All the jobs that she's had at Tsuburaya, Toei, and now the stage acting that she's doing now, everything up to them is probably not a good thing to say, but she didn't really, it's not because she wanted to become an actress that it happened. It just kind of happened. And with the stage acting as well, it's kind of happened as well. But what she likes about it is, like in this situation right now, having people there live, listening, hearing everything she says. Sure, she kind of feels really good about that now. And she's kind of enjoying doing the acting now on stage. Okay? Okay, I'm ready. Up here in the middle. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I knew you were.
They're in sign language, okay.
Just trying to find out the time.
Can Miss Ai talk about the culture of arts and acting in Japan, specifically her experience as a woman in the field?
ハリウッド、日本のですか、日本、やはりこちらの、役者さんたちとはより全然緩いというか甘いというか、やっぱり全然違うと思います。
The reason she thinks that's different between Hollywood and Japan is that they really need to do a lot of catching up in Japan. They think that the Hollywood actors, because they're top level and this and that, they work hard to get there and they're trying to catch up. And she sees that as the biggest difference for a lot of things that's going on and would like to catch up, yes.
例えば歌えて踊れてお芝居ができて、当たり前ですよね、こちらは。で日本はもう歌える人とお芝居ができる人と踊れる人とみんな別々みたいな。
Here in America, especially in Hollywood, everybody learns how to sing, to dance, to act, to do all kinds of things. And in Japan, it's usually separate. They have somebody who can dance well, but probably cannot sing. Somebody who sings well, but cannot dance. Somebody who acts well, who can't do anything else. And so there's a lot of segregation there in that sense. And again, things that they're a little bit loose in that sense that you get better in Japan, like Hollywood, where you can do everything.
まだまだ実力が全然違います。
The power of America is amazing, but we'll work to get there. Okay, let's see. Okay, right here.
I was just wondering, how has your experience been so far at G-Fest in the United States?
Oh, もうすごく楽しみに、もうすごい楽しみに来ました。
She's looking forward to coming and she's having a good time being here, yes.
で、思った通りに、もうすごい楽しいです。
And she said, yep, it's exactly how I thought it would be, and I'm having a great time. She also went shopping yesterday, too. So. Yeah. Did you, okay, right there in the middle. Well, okay, well, we'll get you.
Besides Terror of Mechagodzilla, does she have a favorite Godzilla film?
As a child, she watched Mothra, but that's actually not her favorite. She likes the King Kong movie because at the end it's very sad and she gets to cry. And she kind of likes that, so yeah. So maybe probably King Kong, yes. Okay, and there was somebody else in the middle. Did you not get you? Yeah. Do you still have a question? Yes. No. Maybe. Let's go up here then, Andy.
What was your favorite role as an actress and why?
Mechagodzilla です。
Of course. Okay, right here in the front, Eddie. Let's go there.
How is Godzilla perceived in Japan? Among who is it popular? Young people, older people?
Now you mean?
Yes.
そうですね、やっぱ30代、40代の方が多いですね。あんまり若い子はそんなに。
It's not very popular with the younger generation, 34 years old and up. Yeah. And my personal experience, I was with a bunch of guys about 2 weeks ago for an event, and they were 50s up to 70-year-old people, and so they really love it. And so probably 30s and up, yeah. Okay, they're in the back. They're in the back.
Adam asked me to help him with his question.
Okay.
First, he wants you to know that he's so happy that you're here and he hopes that you feel as loved as you are by this group of people. Then he wants to know if, in the movie, you were with Mechagodzilla, and would you rather have saved Mechagodzilla or Godzilla? Who was your favorite?
Thank you. そうですね。でもあの状況だったらやっぱりゴジラ助けます。
In the situation as it was, I would help Godzilla. In the back, Andy. Oh, okay, we'll go with that one first, then we'll go in the back then. Yeah, that's fine.
Let me just start by saying it is an honor to meet you, and my question is, what are your thoughts on the Godzilla 2014 movie?
はい、やっぱり全然違いますね。全然なんか同じゴジラっていう感じじゃないですね。はい、それでいいと思います。
She has seen the movie and she thinks it's totally different than the original Godzilla, which maybe is a good thing as well. So, but she has seen it and she does like it. Yes.
This is a bit of a heavy question, but who would be more fun to control, Mechagodzilla or Titanosaurus?
難しいですね。でもやっぱりメカゴジラでしょ。
Mechagodzilla, yes. Up here in the front. Go ahead, Maddie.
Keep your arm raised so I can see it.
Okay, so you said that you have done some voiceover work. How big of a difference is that from acting in movies and TV shows?
Eh, 映画の場合、映画とかテレビの場合は役に入ります。ただ読んだりしたものは、結構自分で自分のままで、
When you're in a movie or TV, there's a part that you have to play in a role that you become, and it may not be you, but because you're playing a part. But when it comes to the reading stuff, a lot of you comes out in it, so she pretty much gets to be herself when she reads these parts, other than the movie and the TV.
All right, Scott, we have time for one more question and then we'll wrap it up.
One more question. Andy, you pick.
The heat's on you, Andy.
Make it a good one, Andy.
Okay, I've got a question. With all the different prosthetics you had to wear during the shoot, how did you feel with that and dealing with the makeup people?
サイボーグ少女のスーツありますね。あれはすごい自分でもうお気に入りで、当時結構太ってたんですけど、あれすごくスリムに見えて、もうなんかとてもお気に入りで、で割と動きやすかったですし、はい。
She has very good experiences with it, with the cyborg suit. When she was younger, she was a little bit more plump than she is now. But when she wore the suit, it made her look really skinny, so she thought she was hot. So she really enjoyed it, and the people working with the makeup and this and stuff. So she really had a good time, especially because it made her look thinner.
Okay, that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm
very happy to meet all of you. Thank you. I'm very happy. Thank you.
Dinosaurs! I got dinosaurs!